In the today's session, we are going to about discussion Java bytecode. Java bytecode is really a powerful mechanism which makes Java portable and the platform independent language, programming language. So before really getting into what bytecode and how it gets generated, let's look at two software component which cost along and makes this bytecode as magical board. First is the compiler, which basically generate the bytecode, all the machine code of our Java program. And second is the interpreter, which actually execute the bytecode on the system. This interpreter, also called as JVM or Java Virtual Machine. So basically, bytecode is the common piece between compiler, which creates it, and the interpreter or JVM, which actually run it. So let's look at this whole phenomena step by step, detail with example. Let's suppose you are writing the first Java program, hello there. You created a class like simple, name of the class simple. Inside that you have created one method, that is main method, where you would want to output hello there using system.out.println. Actually, this code which you have right now on screen is called Java source code. Now, next, what do you want to do is you want to run it. So let's do that. So when we write a Java program, we don't write it in the form of machine code. We typically write a Java program in high level language like C++ or Java programming, and these programming languages are modern programming languages where instructions are not like a machine code looking language, but they are in the form of plain simple English statements. Now the question come up, how compiler and interpreter take our Java source code. If you try to submit your source code at JVM, and you ask to JVM run it for you, hey JVM, please execute my Java code. Then JVM says No, I don't understand this. But why? As I said before, JVM or interpreter doesn't understand our code which come created in an English statement. It needs binary version of the code, which is also called machine code. Now, final question come up. How do we get the machine code out of our simple Java source code that we have created? And this is where we need a help from our good friend, a compiler. And compiler says, I will do the job. So the Java compiler is installed as a part of Java installation process, and when you save your Java file, once you have done your code, Java compiler will compile your Java code. See, compiler compiles your Java code and convert into a machine code, that is in the form of 0 and 1. And this machine code nothing but is a magical bytecode that we are talking about. Now, since we have machine code or a binary version of our source code of bytecode, if we make same request again to JVM to run our code, and yes, hey JVM, please execute my code, and see JVM says yes, I like it, and JVM happily able to execute our code this time. So in short, a compiler generate the bytecode on the machine code in the form of a file. That is .class file or bytecode, and then JVM execute the bytecode, and there is one last aspect of the bytecode I want to cover today. Whenever you execute compiled bytecode, you may not necessarily want to run that bytecode on one machine like Windows, right? You may run that code on Windows, or you may run on Mac OS, or maybe different system like Linux. That's why we need a different JVM or a different interpreter for each type of system so that they can run the bytecode, but remember, the output of the code will never get changed. Your respective machine, because same bytecode might be running on each type of machine. So remember, JVM get changed for a different type of system, but bytecode doesn't. That is the reason bytecode is magical code that makes Java platform independent language. That's all, and thank you for the session.